what you wear, all that matters is who you with. Some jiggy, some straight out, all up in the club.
Everybody, welcome to Tech Beats and Bytes. Show brought to you weekly by Digital Grass, world famous House of Mac. We are at Wynwood Yard, and none of this would be possible without the amazing people that put this together. But first of all, let's give a shout out to the sounds that are provided by DJ Selfborn. Round of applause for the DJ.
Boy, that boy bad.
Absolutely.
Holding us down,
hot.
setting the vibe. Introducing myself first, because my name is Michael Hall, the most annoying guy on the show. I will be the one entertaining you and disappointing you all at once, but this show is made possible by the most amazing woman, president of Digital Grass. Her name is LaTOYA STIRRUP. Let's give it up for her.
Talk to him, talk to him.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all for coming out and hanging with us.
So today we thought we'd talk a little bit about community, entertainment industry. So we wanted to bring out some icons, some people that has been pushing everything in the community, all the way from radio to a guy that used to be known as just the street team flyer guy. Now he is Mr. International Promotions. I don't even know what your title would be today, Lex. You just do too much, man. But so we wanted to bring out some people that were special to us. So today we have Octavia Yearwood right by me. Let's give her a round of applause.
You.
And we also have Lex Promotions Pierre-Louis. Let's give that man a round of applause. So why don't you guys go ahead and briefly tell us a little bit about yourself and let us know what you do in the community and a little bit about your company before we hit you with the questions. And Octavia, lady is first. Why don't you go ahead and go?
Oh, thank you. Octavia Yearwood. I'm an author, motivational speaker, and philanthropist, and I also do radio. I have a radio show on Wynwood Radio called Love, Art, and Beats, where I love to highlight people who are doing amazing things in the community, from art to, well, all forms of art. So culinary arts, visual arts, and entertainment. And yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right.
We'll get into it more in depth later.
Right. Save a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lex.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lex Pierre-Louis, CEO of Lex Promotions and Marketing Group. And as I'm sure there's some small business owners here, lucky enough to be in business since 2004, a grassroots marketing and promotions company. And in the past couple of years, we've been focused on brand partnerships with artists and different brands.
All right. Humbly stated. I appreciate that. So, Toya, you want to jump into it first?
Yeah, yes. You know, since you both are entrepreneurs and very much focused in the entertainment world, share a little bit about the Miami entertainment scene. I know, Lex, you go way back in terms of you were a DJ at Miami Ice Arena.
Oh, wow, you did your research.
Yes.
Boom.
And I'm a native, so I know about Miami Ice Arena. But share a little bit about how you got started and how you ended up working with some of the greats in terms of the Miami music scene.
Definitely did your research. I see that.
Yeah.
Started off fresh out of high school, actually in high school doing all-age parties. So I was one of the guys in the high school and the colleges doing the high school parties and the skating rings. And then that's where actually I met a lot of people till this day that I still do business with. I remember doing an all-age party where Pitbull came through, and I was lucky enough to book Pitbull for like $300.
Wow.
And at the time, he was an up-and-coming artist, and then going from, booking Pitbull to working with Uncle Luke, and then interning for Uncle Luke, and then after that, making my way to Slip and Slide Records, and then, an all domino effect. But all of those relationships started years ago, and those are like 10, 15 years relationships with these artists, and then years later, seeing them grow into different business ventures and being able to help them out if possible.
Mm-hmm. And Octavia, tell us a little bit about how you got into the entertainment, art, music scene.
Well, I mean, I'm an artist across the board, from visual arts to choreography. I mean, I'm from New York City. I got here 5 years ago. I was choreographing stage shows, and then I came here. I wanted to expand my art services company called Team O, where I work with youth and adults alike with the arts. And I mean, it's just something that just naturally transformed into just focusing on dance to just focusing on using the arts as something that's transformational with community partners from ICA to the PAM to Rush Philanthropics and with South Florida Cares. And it's just been a really like he said, it's a domino effect. And you just keep moving in your flow and it just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And both of you guys are like really involved with youth. But Octavia, one of the things I know recently you've been heavily involved with Wynwood Radio. Won't you tell us a little bit about Wynwood Radio?
Well, Wynwood Radio is a local radio station that's internet based, and their whole thing, well, for one, you know, they utilize their space within a barbershop, which is really dope. Because again, what I love about Miami is just this way that you all are able to just kind of zone in on using all of the space necessary. For instance, the Wynwood Yard, right? You got a bunch of different trucks over here. So Wynwood Radio is actually in the Junior and Hatter salon. And they focus on, again, local artists and wanting to just fill the community with that kind of thing. So I got a show on the radio station called Love, Art, and Beats, and focused in on people who are doing wonderful things from Timeline, who makes beers, to
Shout out to Timeline. Seth
you know
Moore
what I'm
said,
saying?
Shout it out.
To our girl Nadej Green in the back, who is a journalist. So these people who
NPR, holding it down, WLRN.
Correct. So people who are living in their purpose. So my show is really focused on that, and Women Radio is the home to allowing me to do that, to, again, utilize my voice.
Yeah. And one thing that you both sort of talked about when we were just discussing is relationships. How important are relationships to allowing you to do what you're doing? Whoever wants to start can take it.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Starting with relationships, you know, when I was heavily into the nightlife arena, I would get phone calls from different record labels, different clients. Hey, such and such is in Miami. Can you pick them up and make sure they have a good time when they're in Miami? Till this day, I have clients, colleagues that I do not even remember picking them up from the airport, but they call me like, yo, remember that time I came to Miami with wifey? You took me out, opened up the red carpet, and we had a great time, and this and that. And I'm in my head like, I don't remember, because I did this every single weekend, and it was all a merge. But to them, it was a special moment. I took the time to make sure they had a good time in Miami. And a couple years later, they're in a position with a different company where they could come back around and shoot me a jug or no, you know what? Lex has been putting in that work in Miami, and I know he's consistent and he's relevant, and they're in a position where they could send me a contract.
So
interesting years of working.
Interesting fact. So Lex hits me up about 4 months ago. I guess he's cleaning out his phone or removing space. And I get these 4 random pictures. Since we're on camera, I won't tell you what was in those pictures. But let's just say this was when both of us were working with Uncle Luke. This was right after I had designed Luke's logo, where I actually drew his face. That's the current logo he's using. So we were having a party, and
Cameo nightclub.
yeah,
Second floor.
I still had my dreads at that point.
Yep.
And all I remember was seeing those pictures, and I was so happy nobody was around me when I opened up the phone. But you used to always hold it down. That was an amazing night. But you built a reputation so fast. I remember coming down and meet you in your office, and I remember the first thing I said to you was, how in the world are you affording an office on South Beach at your age? But, I mean, you've been really holding this down for the last 13, 14 years. So what have been some of the, I guess, progressions that you've seen in the Miami music scene? Because at one point, everything was about Miami. Then we kind of lost it, but now it's coming back full circle. And it's kind of a question that to start off with Lex and lead over to Octavia. But what's been shifting with the music scene and entertainment where we're kind of regaining that position?
I think the Miami music scene at one time, it was a system where if you were able to get your record or your music jumping in the clubs, or you were able to get the young, the youths, the teenagers, the colleges supporting your music, you know, we had the waves, started with the Luke wave, and then after that, the Trick Daddy and Trina wave. Then after that, we had the Rick Ross, Plies, Pitbull wave, and then it kind of slowed down for a minute, and now the most recent wave will probably be Kodak Black. But when you look at the music scene in Miami, it's a system where even if you get your music hot in the urban nightlife, it takes a lot more than that. It's all going digital. Right. It's all going about the streams. So before you had to have your music buzzing in Atlanta, buzzing in Miami for it to spread nationally. Now you could be from Arkansas, you could be from Ontario, you could be from anywhere. And as long as you have the right digital platform, your music is able to spread.
And Octavia, how's that kind of feeding over to what you're doing? I mean, you're in the arts and you're in the culture and you're seeing everything. How is that kind of feeding over to Wynwood Radio and your efforts that you have?
Well, For me, just looking at it is really interesting. From the young artists, you know, I think about these kids, Raya World and King Hoodie, these young kids that are doing a lot of great music, and James Clyn, and even artists just across the world, just across Miami. What I think is amazing is the accessibility. I get what you're saying as far as digitally. Digitally is making it very, you know, widespread. But for me, what I've realized is, again, going back to the relationships, they're knitting together. They're knitting together a lot in Miami, and are able to make a lot of things happen. Like Dina Dean, who's an artist that works with King Hidden, and them, they did an event. She did her listening event at Wynwood Radio. You know, so we're creating a platform for these independent young artists that are here to really just express themselves and create a home for themselves in their home. I think that Miami is a nucleus.
Yeah.
And I think that as far as the last 5 years, it's been able to really grow within itself and really expand out where you don't need to go to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying, per se, in my opinion, from what I've seen, that you can come here and the way the community is supporting each other is really helping these artists take it to the next level. Especially with the video, they're also doing these amazing video projects that are helping them, again, building this content that is making them stand out, making them show people see that Miami has artists, like, and that artists are thinking, they're conceptual here in Miami and doing creative things.
Yeah.
So,
with the conversation about artists being able to get more traction, you have, back in the day, everything was done with printed flyers, right? You had street teams on the ground really hustling to get the word out. Now it's social media. Do you feel that that sort of makes it too easy, or is it a benefit?
In other words, Lex, them nights when you had to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning
You were at
to
Kinko's.
go pick up them 12 boxes of flyers, and you had to put them on the cars at night. Has the game gotten too easy?
I'm not gonna say the game has gotten too easy, but I will say that it's more about creativity.
Yeah.
So it's all about your campaign, your creativity in your campaign. So it could be whether it's a printed item or it's not a printed item. Like, you have some artists that will specifically say, you know what, I'm gonna target this X generation. I'm gonna target this specific demographic, and I'm gonna monopolize on this specific demographic. So I think it's more about getting creative with your campaign.
yeah, because, I mean, the internet is large. So, I mean, at one end, they don't have to try to sneak it backstage like we had to do back in the day.
Yeah.
But they still have to be able to be seen after all these people are tagging and hashtagging and doing all these things. They still have their own work cut out for them in a different kind of way. But I think he nailed it when he said the creativity is that thing that's going to be making people stand out, and the consistency.
Right.
So something else I want to
Yeah, go
add to
ahead.
that, right? So you look at, let's say somebody wants to be in the marketing field like I am. Back in my days, if I wanted to be in the marketing industry and wanted to reach out to record labels, I would literally take a 12-inch record, buy their official album, or go to the record store and sit at a record store and take down with a pen and paper every phone number and name on the back of the record label, and then try to sit there and call them. Now it's easier, but if you're smart about it, all right, let me pull up Lex, let me pull up Ted Lucas, let me pull up Teach, let me put up this A&R and see who all of them are following. Let me follow them on social media. Let me follow them on LinkedIn. Let me Google them and try to find their Facebook
giving y'all
and
the
become
game for
their
free.
Facebook friends. Back in my days, there was no way for me to know who these guys were associated with.
Yeah, or even what they look like, really.
Even what they look like, or where they would be at their events, or they're speaking here. Let me make sure I'm at this
Right.
event. So now it's easier if you have a brain to it, because some people would never think to think like that.
Right.
Yeah, so start digitally with your networking. What are some other gems that you can drop for those who are looking to get their name known, get out there?
Lex, like, I charge for that, man.
Right, don't give all the goods away, just like one.
You know, I think it's so funny because I think that this question is asked over and over and over and over again, right? And one of the main answers is to really be the authentic you, to really be who you are and delve into that. The problem is that people are looking at too many people and trying to take what they can from all these different people. They're not necessarily going within themselves and then actually looking at the temperature. Context is a huge aspect to being successful.
Yeah. No, that's a good tip.
I mean, that was one of the things I was going to ask. I mean, you guys have seen a lot, and Lex, everybody comes to you when they want to get on. But what's missing right now? What hasn't been touched? Because, I mean, we talk about it on the show. You know, everybody has kind of like their things embedded in the show that represent them. And for us, we miss R&B on this show. Like the true R&B is just not there. But if you had to think about maybe a demographic, a genre of music, what's really not being touched enough that if somebody really, if that was their authentic self, not forcing it, but if it was them, what would take off right now? What's missing?
Yeah, how can they corner the market?
Yeah.
It's a very good question.
I know you charge for this
Right,
advice,
right.
but you
Right.
gonna
That
answer
means
this one for
private
free.
sessions, everybody. Private sessions.
Yeah, I'll do all for consulting fees, but nah. At the end of the day, regardless of what genre or artist is in, it doesn't matter whether it's pop, hip hop, dance, R&B, reggae, calypso, compa. At the end of the day, it's good music. All of it boils down to good music. You have good music and a strong team and a clear marketing plan. You know, it's no limit to where you can go.
All right.
A good marketing plan. That's where all them tricks come in. That's the hard part. That marketing and PR. PR is the easy part. That marketing part, really making yourself appeal to somebody. There's so many people just. It's like Dr. Xavier's brain
Yeah,
in
you
that
gotta-
room.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that was a good one. I like that. Because I could visually see that.
Visually,
Yeah, I could
right?
see
You
that.
just was like,
yeah.
ooh.
Man, all right, cool. Before I get into my X-Men moment.
Right.
So we've talked about music, but one thing I do like to do is highlight the good people are doing for the community. So I'm going to start off with you, Lex. I know you've been going back and forth to Haiti a lot, and you have a lot of efforts going on over there. So won't you tell us about some of the things you're doing in Haiti? And besides, of course, being a patient descent, like, I've really seen you amp it up over the last 2 years, and I've noticed it a lot. So won't you tell us about some of the efforts you have going on in Haiti, and then also how could we help you with your efforts that you have going on?
So my efforts in Haiti, you know, kind of trickle down or pass down with the family, my generation. My family's living in Haiti, and we have several businesses in Haiti. And over the past couple of years, I would take trips to Haiti. And one of my aunts says, "You coming down to Haiti for Christmas? Bring 2 bags of toys." Brought 2 bags of toys. Wasn't enough. Next year, she's like, "You coming back down? Bring 4 bags of toys." Brought 4 bags of toys. Still wasn't enough. So the following year, I got together with some sponsors and some support from the community and my business partner, Jones Pierre, and we're able to charter a plane and bring over 5,000 pounds of toys straight to Haiti.
Wow, that's what's
so
up.
after I did that this past year, I said, hold on a second. Now people are calling me trying to donate and partner, and so we got together and we opened up a nonprofit, which is called the We Reach Foundation. And that nonprofit is brand new, and we're going to do this year, same thing as far as helping out Haiti with our efforts with the toy drive. Outside of the toy drive, last year, Haiti was affected by Hurricane Matthew. So as soon as Haiti was affected by Hurricane Matthew, people had seen our work, and you know, my family who's in the grounds in Haiti, we have access to construction equipment and different things in Haiti, so we're able to help while we're on the ground. And then me and my staff and the people here were able to donate, and we took the donations directly to Haiti, food, water, and did 2 trips following Hurricane Matthew along with a medical team.
That's what's up. Let's give them a round of applause for giving back.
Absolutely. And especially with all the controversy around giving money to Haiti.
Yeah.
It's good to know that this is a solution that you can exactly give to, and you know it's going to get to the people.
You
And,
can
you
see
know,
the fruits
and-
of the labor, yeah.
And then even with that, to me, I took it right back to the 2004 street team days. They give you the boxes of flyers, they give you the donations, you go give them out. To me, it was that simple. And then some
one-to-one,
people
right?
were like, yo, how did you do it? Like, it's the same damn thing.
Just passing out toys instead of flyers.
Right.
And Octavia, Team O, won't you tell us about what you're doing with the kids? I know you're giving a lot of creative energy to them.
Yeah, I work with South Florida Cares Mentoring as the site's program manager. And I do partnering with ICA, Guitars Over Guns, and different organizations around Miami to provide arts programming and also tech as well. We work with Felicia Hatcher and the wonderful people over there. And sorry, I just had a brain fart because I was thinking about Haiti because I have a bunch of friends that just did, they called the Great 8. and I'm a part of it too. And we just did a huge initiative for Haiti too, and the whole aspect of not giving the money, actually doing the things and getting it over there. And I was just thinking about all the issues we have with exporting and all these things that's attached to
The
it.
red tapes.
Yeah, all the red tapes. Yeah, so sorry, I kind of went into a time zone right there where I was just like, man, all those pounds, all that work, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, but unpack that a little bit before you talk about the red tape a little bit, because people may not know.
Well, I mean, that's why people like him, and that's why people like the Grade 8 take it on, because trying to wrap your brain around all of that stuff is difficult, and it is something for someone who has family there, like she has family there. Having family there is a huge part. We had to do several shipments to her aunt's house so that she can get it, and she can hold it, and it was just like a lot of movement. And also paying for that too. Yeah. You know, so.
I think Lex just chartered a private jet or something. That's how he made that.
That's what it is. Yeah. We got lucky. It was with the help of everybody else. It wasn't just me now.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
But that's a lot of pounds. So yeah, he had to charter a plane.
Yeah. Back to relationships, right?
Yeah, back to relationships. And
yeah,
that came
back to
from
relationships.
Old school relationship that saw me online. I'm like, yo, I got all these donations. Me and my team are gonna find a way to get it over there. And out of nowhere, a phone call came in. So that once more came from the relationships.
But our Grade 8 initiative was more so about sponsoring children that were in orphanages to be able to go to school. Because they can't go to school there really if they don't have no money. So what we did was sponsor them to get a year in the orphanage and also pay for their school and their school supplies. So a lot of the things that we did went to that kind of thing. So we didn't have to ship that much, but we did have to ship the school supplies and the books and things like that. So that's the things that we had to deal with as far as that. We didn't have pounds on pounds of toys. But shout out to you. Let me get that jet real quick. I'm going to have to let them know that we got a source now. We got resources.
Make it happen.
Right. But as far as Miami's concerned, so yeah, I work a lot. We service over 500 youth. Myself individually services over 500 youth a year in dance and in the arts programming.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's intense. You know, mentorship is one of the most amazing parts of it, because getting to talk to these youth that look like me. I was a foster kid.
Okay.
So being in foster care, going through that type of childhood, and then walking to these classrooms where I see a bunch of kids that look just like me and are going through just what I went through, but just with a lot less support. It makes me get really creative with my ideas of how I'm going to help them transform. And for me, the arts worked a lot for me. Dancing, painting, all those things worked a lot for me. And also people speaking. So I have friends that come out and speak to them, and I also do a bunch of different arts programming at Williams Park in Overtown. If you know any youth in Overtown that's looking for programming over the school year, please definitely let me know. And we do a partnership during Basel as well. So we're looking to partner with people who are doing things with the youth and who want to give back. So yeah.
Yeah, no, great things happening with South Florida Cares for sure.
Yeah, so we didn't get to do our rapid fire, but before we get into we didn't do our rapid fire last week, but we're going to do it this week. But Q, will you stand up real quick? So if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask Lex or Octavia, Q is right over here to my left, your right-hand side. You can come up to her and she'll filter the questions to us. But before we get you guys off of the stage, got to ask you some real serious questions. Craft beer, craft cocktail, what you drinking?
Water.
Ice cold water, I got you. We can
Crafted
afford.
from the earth.
Octavia,
I'm having craft beer.
Craft beer, all right, we got that. Lex, favorite artist, dead or alive?
Phew.
You
Let's go
could
with
ha- you could have
alive. Let's go with alive.
So we'll go with alive. You can have him or her here today and performing. Who would it be?
Lauryn Hill.
All right.
All right, as long as she show up on time, because it'll be 11.
Nah, we gotta go pick her up. We gotta go pick her up.
That's
We gotta
real.
go
She
pick her
might
up.
not make
real.
it. She might not make it.
Might not.
Octavia?
I'm just going to have to, because I just love my friends. So I'm going to have to say Ro James.
Ro James.
All
Ro
right.
James, he could come through. Give me that green light. I know y'all know it. Hey,
Yes.
hey. Yeah, so yeah, I would have him come through and serenade it real quick. Get all y'all happy and lucky.
That might be the only song he's singing that everybody know, but that's that one song.
Don't
will
be a
on-
hater. No, no.
right.
I heard you
Into it,
already knew that, bumping in these Miami streets.
Yes.
All right. So, for both of you, and Toya, I want you to close out with the last two. I know you, but if we had to plug into you right now, and there was a movie or a TV show that represented your life, what would we be watching?
Jeopardy music.
I love these spaces, boy.
Right.
These spaces are great for B-roll.
It's probably gonna be like a remix though to two shows.
Oh,
You
man.
can't do two. It's only one, man.
A show or a movie?
Either one. Either
Gotta
or.
make a choice.
One or the other.
Damn.
Right.
My whole life?
Here we go.
Right now, current. It can
Don't judge me by this, but I'm gonna go with American Greed.
That's what's up.
be- okay.
Okay.
I was thinking
I
of a
don't know what
master
that
plan.
is.
I got that.
Damn, I watch so many movies and I just keep going back to Martin.
Wait, so who are you on the show?
I'm Martin, duh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Marty Ma.
Love that. Love that.
Go ahead, Toy.
Biggest challenge in business to date?
Ooh.
Oh,
And it's rapid fire, so you can't do a dissertation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Correct them right now.
right.
being captured into a box. People just consider you into a box, and
Getting
even though you
boxed
have
in.
getting boxed in, yeah.
Biggest challenge is expanding the perspective view of the people. Understanding the we versus the I. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we can all win type of thing.
Yeah,
And
that's
really
power
wanting
in
them
that.
yeah.
We got a question.
Hey y'all.
Hey Q.
How are you? So I have a question about how the hell did you do that? So it seems that you guys are very popular. Everyone in the audience seems to know your story and know what you're about. And the question is directed to both of you, but because the name of Octavia's book is How the Hell Did You Do That? Many people in the audience want to know, how the hell did you do what you did in becoming the success that you are?
How the hell did you do it?
I continued to throw myself in water that I didn't know whether or not I could swim in. I continued to push myself out of my comfort zone. I continue to keep my intentions on bettering myself and healing myself. That's my focus. And then always wanting to give that back to humanity. So that's how I did it. It's a bunch of different things, but you go into that and the other things just branch out.
Okay, Jill Scott.
I think with me it's staying true to your values, but definitely consistency. You know, I put myself in positions that, man, how you gonna get out of this? How you gonna make miracles happen, delivering promises that can't nobody deliver on, and you're still able to deliver on them. So it's putting yourself in, tight positions and being like, I'm gonna climb to the top one way or another. I gotta fly, I gotta swim to the top, I gotta parachute down from the top to the top. I'm gonna figure a way to the top. So putting yourself in positions that are unlikely to win, and for you to know it in your heart that you're gonna come out winning.
And always win. Never just I'm not gonna fail.
Right.
I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm
It's
gonna
that back
do it.
against the wall type energy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people
made
that
the
are-
yeah, you put yourself
Not
there.
allowing someone else to
No,
do it.
exactly.
That's key.
Yeah.
That's the key right there. I got the power.
I've known a lot of people in South Florida, but I've always seen Lex with the whole nobody will outwork me mentality. And I think if a lot of people take that on, it's not about competing against anybody else. You're always competing against yourself.
Yep.
So as long as you stay trying to beat what you did in the last day, you're always developing. And that's one thing I did notice when I met Lex a while ago. So that's dope. So let's give a round of applause for our guest in our first
Yeah.
segment.
Shout out to
Lex.
y'all for that question. And the
Thank
book
you,
is
thank you.
available on Amazon.com.
So we're going to take a quick break, but once again, this is brought to you by the Knight Foundation. This is Tech Beats and Bytes. You got about 2 songs, maybe 3 songs to grab yourself a drink and place an order to eat. And, we're going to get ready for the next segment. We'll be right back.
Motherfucking tricky all over there smelling like.
Only good for about 3 hours, then I got to take them back. Gotta go. So we're getting started with part 2 of Tech Beats and Bytes. I know y'all heard the first 2 songs. If you've been to a club in South Florida Actually, if you've ever been to a club in general, you have heard a song from this record label. But just in case you guys do not know who we're sitting by, we are not talking about Star Wars. We're not talking about the next generation. We are talking about the original Ted Lucas, the founder and creator of Slip and Slide Records. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
One of the original sounds of Miami music. Mr. Lucas, thank you for taking the time out of your busy ass schedule and finally returning my text messages.
Stop that.
I appreciate you.
Right, don't do him.
This man is busy though. I
I'm
mean,
sure.
Ted got about 3 shows he working on.
Wow.
Sebastian Michael need another record to come out.
It's coming. It's coming.
I see. Your daughter got a record that's dropping. I know she got about 3 hot singles out right now.
Yeah, a little something coming together.
Plies is always on Instagram keeping us entertained.
Correct. Got a hot record with him and Kodak Black right now.
Yeah, Trina and Trick just came back out with a collaboration album.
Correct. It's coming
So
together.
not only are you just a legend in the making, you have taken a little bit of a break and you have reinvented yourself. But why don't you just tell us, because some people here know you, some of our viewers don't, because this is about technology, so we reach a different audience. Why don't you just tell us about the startings and the makings of Slip and Slide Record and where you were at and where you're at right now? Why don't you just give us a little journey?
So you want me to take you back a little
Take us back, just a little bit. Take
back
us
to
back.
the 90s.
bit? All right. I first started off as a concert promoter. It was a little place called Studio 183 that really...
All right.
Studio
Right,
183.
you know a little
yes.
bit about that,
Yeah,
huh?
Miami native.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. That's where it all started at. Studio 183, Miami Nights Jazz Room. That was one of those places that, you know, gave me the vision. Growing up, high school, going to Studio 183, just seeing the opportunity. Me and rest in peace to Hollywood, Trick Daddy brother, we started doing concerts at Studio 183, and we was able to make some pretty good money bringing in different acts at Studio 183 and Miami Nights Jazz Room and all that stuff. And it pretty much gave me the taste for the business. You know, was growing up here in South Florida, it was all about football.
Right.
And then as I got into getting ready to go to college, right before college, I started doing a concert with Trick Daddy brother Hollywood. And we brought in, I don't know, I think it was R. Kelly at the time. And man, I made so much money doing that. It kind of distracted me. I'm like, man, I'm about to go off to college, but boy, we just made
Right.
30 grand. You know, as a high school kid, making $30,000 doing
In
a
a night,
concert in
yeah.
a night. That
Yeah.
was like, it's hard to focus. Like, I can do this for the rest of my life. you know?
Right.
And I went off to college and came back home on a December Christmas break. When I came home that Christmas break, Hollywood was doing another concert. We turned around again and made like 10,000. I just came from college where I was eating Roman noodles and peanut butter and jelly and stuff like that. So it was a decision that I had to make.
Man, those gourmet cuisines.
Yeah, gourmet cuisine.
Right, you was
better
doing
believe it.
something.
Yeah, it's definitely something. And once I came home for that Christmas break and made another $10,000, I told my mom and dad, I'll see y'all later. You know,
That college life ain't gonna work
college
out.
life ain't gonna work for me. I see something that I can do, and finding talent was something that I can do. So that's how it all started, by being a concert promoter.
So in that flashback moment, share a little bit for those who may not be from Miami, because music back then and the music scene here was a little bit different. What made that era in Miami music so special?
I always tell everybody, I give my props to JT Money,
Yeah.
Luke, Too Loud Crew,
Poison Clan.
Poison Clan. That was them people right there. Like, I went to college in Texas, you know. They ain't understand Miami music. They was telling me about some dude named Vanilla Ice from Miami, and I'm telling them,
Right.
that boy ain't nowhere from Miami. He lying. I ain't never heard of his high school or nothing. He
Boca
went to.
Raton.
Yeah, like,
Just
nah.
he's got a UM sweater on, that don't make him.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I give my props to Luke and JT Money, Poison Clan, all them. They the ones that inspired me. So when I went to college and got there and hearing about all the stuff that was going on, it was nothing like Miami music to me, man. It was something that motivated me, and I wanted the word to get out to everybody. Got you. All right. I wanted the word to get out. So coming back home, like I said, doing a couple concerts, man, and then I realized that this is what I wanted to do. So I took myself and got a couple of partners together, and we did a concert at the Miami Arena. A lot of people don't know about the Miami Arena.
Yeah, the
That
Pink
was-
Arena.
Yeah, the Pink Arena. Flamingo, yeah.
Right.
And I did a back-to-school jam, and I was good at doing club promotions and doing it at a club. But when you go to an arena,
Whole
and they
different
start
thing.
charging you about ice, and they charging you about towels and overtime. I'm like, what the world is this, you know? So we did a concert back to school. It was Gerald Levert, H-Town, Silk. It was a real good concert back to school, and unfortunately, it didn't work out the way we planned, and we lost every dollar we made from that concert.
Wow.
And I was in the back of the arena, time flying, and they come and asking me for overtime money, and I ain't got no more money. Everything I don't work for is in this concert tonight, and it's raining outside. You know, South Florida, you take a chance. And people got to buy school clothes. Back then, you had to buy school clothes. You didn't buy a uniform. You know, you had to make sure your kid was fresh, so things didn't work out. That night, I went home and said to myself, I want to be on that side where at the end of the night, I tell somebody, listen, I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if ain't nobody in the crowd. I want my money. That's how they was doing me, and that was the decision made. That's what that night right there at the Miami Arena when they told me, Gerald Levert said, I don't care if it ain't nobody in the crowd. I want my back end.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, you gotta have a little sympathy for me. You don't see there ain't nobody out there. They ain't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So that was, I tell everybody, that was a blessing. That was one of those opportunities where me and everybody lost our money, but it made me open my eyes and say, I don't care. It's raining outside, it's snowing. I want my money as well. So that's when I made the transition to get on the record side. And after that, sat down and put my plan together. And first group I signed, I think, was an R&B group. A lot of people don't know that.
Bring back R&B, man. Just bring it
nah,
back, man.
It's over, man. I ain't gonna say it's over. But it ain't the R&B we grew up on. I'm gonna
No
make it that
hope.
way. It
No
ain't.
hope.
Yeah, it will, but it's gonna take a minute. Everything has its ups and downs.
Right.
And it'll come back. But right now, at this current time, you know, the new kids, their R&B is somebody named Future or Drake or something. That's their R&B. I'm just telling the truth. You know, as long as you can sing and rap, it's good music. That's what they care about. So,
Yeah.
and you making love music to these young kids, they don't understand R&B like
Yeah.
that. no.
Bryson Tiller is their love music.
Yeah, that's they. You know, so it's a little different right now.
Yeah.
But like I tell everybody, that was it, man. That made that decision. I went home and I started growing dreads, twisting my head because I done lost every dollar I got. Got about 270 pounds. You know, gaining weight in the house. A little bit depressed. I didn't know it was depression back then. I'm like, man, I'm sick. I need my money back. I don't know what they talking about.
It got real quick.
Yeah, it got real
Yeah.
hard. You know, so I had to think about what I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted to be in the music business. I can't rap. I can't sing. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. And I found this R&B group at a car wash. 5 guys that washing my car. They sound like they can sing. Their name was New Vibe. You know, so I thought they was the next Boys to Men
New edition.
New Edition or something, but no, they wasn't that talented. But it was my initiation to the game, and I take it. I tell everybody. I come in the game taking the L first and then work my way up, and that's what it did for me. I tell everybody, if that group would have worked from the beginning, I would have thought the game was easy, and I wouldn't have worked this hard to keep going. So New Vibe, I take my hat off to them. They was definitely the ones that opened my eyes up. And then I ended up signing a group by the name of Trey Plus 6. These are 2 gentlemen that went to school with me named Mark and Corey. Money Mark and CO now. That's what you know them by. So we went to high school together. And in high school, they can rap to me. They sound like they was pretty good, you know. So I decided to sign these guys. Money Mark and CO put out a song called Life is Crazy. At the same time, Mariah Carey had a record out with ODB.
Okay.
So they had the same sample going on in the record. And that's when I learned that the radio stations can tell you what they going to play and what they not going to play. They told me, sorry, Sony Records is calling and we can't play your record with the same sample, and they shut the record down.
Wow.
During this time, I'm sitting down with Hollywood, Trick brother, and he always bragging about his brother Trick who can rap. He was a little knucklehead, always starting trouble, and we decided that we was going to invest in his brother. Trick makes a mistake and go to prison for 5 years at the age of 15 years old. I ain't say juvenile, people. I say he went to real prison with grown people. So while this time, Trick in prison, and while Trick in prison, unfortunately, Hollywood get killed. Son, Trick passed back then. You could pay for someone to come home to go to the funeral. So I paid for the shackles and the protection, everything. Trick came to the front. I promised him, man, you come home and stay out of trouble, I'm going to invest in you. Well, trying to keep Trick out of trouble, that's not the easy thing to do. And he wasn't listening when he first came home. And he went to the Pac Jam, and Luke found him, and he did that record Scarred. And when he did Scarred, I'm like, I know you can rap, but are you gonna stay out of trouble? You know? And I tell everybody, that was one of those times where, all right, I'm gonna take this chance. But what I did something different. I paid people to protect Trick from other people. You ain't gotta worry about Trick not protecting himself. I don't want Trick to start trouble with nobody else. So I tell everybody, you gotta protect your investment. If you're gonna be in this music business, I tell everybody who I sit down with. I like to sit down with professional people that understand that young artist got a lot of talent, but are you willing to do what it takes, the sacrifice, and then protect the investment? So we put the team together just to protect Trick, to make sure he didn't start no trouble.
So after Scar came out and you're working on that first album with Trick, what was that aha moment where you knew you had something and Slip and Slide was about to go to the next level?
Trick came home after Hollywood died. If you listen to the intro of Based on a True Story, it was a song on there. He was talking about, he basically took himself and put himself inside Hollywood body as he died. Like, I'm sitting there, and he telling him about how they putting the cover over his head and how he can't breathe. And I'm like, boy, everybody in the hood can relate to this story. Like, it's real. He basically, you know, Miami, at that time, Miami was known for booty shaking music, and Trick showed he can do that. But he was able to take himself and tell you how Hollywood was feeling while he got shot.
Wow.
That's the intro of the album. If you listen to the album, I felt it. It was like, that's my homeboy. I understand where he's coming from. And he was incarcerated. But he said, this is how Hollywood was feeling when he got shot. So it was real music. Storytelling music, but it was from a Miami perspective. Like, nobody to me was doing it that real and raw. Like, everybody had their own party music that we all was known for, but it was a trendsetter. He basically, that album based on True Story was street music from a Miami dude perspective, but on real situations that we can relate to. So when I heard the music, I said, man, I believe in it. You know, and once I believe in something, ain't none of y'all, nobody else gonna tell me it ain't gonna work, because I'm going all out to prove that it's gonna work. And you gotta show me that it ain't gonna work. So I believed in him, I believed in the music, and I do whatever it takes. I don't care if you got that record store and you ain't got them records on that shelf. I'm going in the back to get them out the back. And I'm gonna make my own end cap. I'm gonna make my own front space. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get this music out. So I believed in the first album, man. That's basically, I believed in him as an artist, for one.
That's what's up.
So a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, they talk about that gut reaction, right? Do you listen to your gut?
I definitely listen to my gut. I gotta believe in it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm the type where you said earlier, you took a little break. Well, music changed a little bit. You know, I didn't understand mumbling music. Like, I want to understand what you're talking about. You know, like, if you're going to rap, don't make it hard for me to understand what you're saying. Like,
and to rap along with you.
Yeah, let me at least get the hook or something. I want to be able to comprehend and understand what you're rapping about. So if I can't understand what you're rapping about, it make my job that much harder. That's when I take a time out. Let me sit back and, you know, evaluate the game and see what's going on.
I remember, I knew you had taken a break, but I forgot. There was a little club on South Beach, and I remember you had Sebastian Michael there. Then nobody even know who he was. And Sebastian just came out, and I remember as soon as he started singing, I was like, Ted is on a whole different level.
Yeah.
I mean, you had transcended so far beyond rap.
Yes.
I mean, this dude is a pure R&B pop artist. I mean, plays instruments. He's just, to me, he's another version of what Miguel could be, but he's just dope. Like, he's just raw talent. But he still has a street feel.
Yes.
But it's just raw R&B talent. So when you got somebody like Sebastian, at that point, did you know not only was your record label kind of changing, but your life was changing? Because there was differences between you. You know, you started your nonprofits and things of that area. So what happened when you signed Sebastian Michael? What was going on at that point in your life?
Well, listen, man, a lot of y'all don't know, but I'm born and raised in Miami. You know, these pretty white teeth in my mouth didn't have white all the time. I had 6 goals at the top, 6 at the bottom. A lot of y'all might don't know me as Touche, but that was a totally different person, you know. So I grew up like everybody else. I got my first goal in my mouth. Then I want another goal. Then I want another goal. Next thing I know, I got 6 goals at the top, 6 at the bottom. So that was Touche. Touche was the one that had that street feel, that wanted to give you that perspective. As I got older, I took my goals out. I grew up and understand and got a family and all kind of stuff. So Sebastian was something that I can relate to at that time at my life in making grown folks music. That's what I wanted to do. And I discovered Sebastian on YouTube. He did an organic video of him standing on the corner at college. He go to Berkeley in Boston.
Okay.
You know, so he was out there organically performing with a guitar, and you see the crowd. He filmed all day. You see the crowd come, they put money in the can, and then he just keep filming. The crowd come, crowd leave, crowd come, and then he did organic video. I told my A&R, I said, if that guy can sing like this in live in person, I'm gonna sign him. So I flew him down from Boston. He came in my office, and he was able to take out his guitar, and he sounded just like what I seen on YouTube. It was a done deal. It was a wrap, because I believed in it again. Once I believe in it, we're going to make it happen.
Right.
So that's what happened. I heard music that, in my heart, that I felt was great music, and we was able to go out and break him as an artist and have him have a #1 record in the country with Wale last night. That took him #1. A lot of people don't even know that Slip and Slide had an R&B artist on the label, but they did very well.
I knew, but that was a dope album.
Thank
that
you,
whole
thank you.
album was amazing. Go ahead,
Thank
Toy.
Yeah, so you were talking about YouTube. So YouTube sensations.
Yes.
Do labels actually scour YouTube looking for artists? Or is it sort of like if they casually pop up in your timeline or you on your homepage, you see them? What's sort of the approach with YouTube?
A good A&R are going to do whatever it takes to find great
Good
music.
artists.
Whatever it is. I don't care whatever it is. If you consider yourself an A&R, now the game don't change. Before, you had to come to a venue like this and hear somebody perform that night
Right,
and say,
you in the
hey,
streets.
that artist is good. But now, you can really come here or you can stay up all night searching the internet because people releasing music. As we sitting there, it's a kid in his room pressing a button, releasing a new song today
Yeah.
on YouTube or Instagram, social media, whatever it may be. And you got to just check in and see if that's auto-tune or is that real talent. You know, if it's something that you can believe on. So I don't have a problem if you're going to get it from YouTube, you're going to get it from any social media platform. That's just the new generation of the music. So if you believe yourself as an A&R, and you find something on social media, now check it and see if it's real or is it fake.
Right.
You know? So I believe in it, definitely.
Nice.
We got a quick question for you.
How you doing?
Christian?
Is that on?
Hola. All right. So first of all, I'm super excited because I grew up on Miami music, and so thank you for all of that.
Thank you.
The question we have from the audience is, what would you say to your younger self from where you sit now at, say, 21, 22 years old?
Wow. Great
Interesting.
question. Great question. What would I say to myself now that I would have said back then? Be honest, everything that I did, the hard work that I put in, a lot of y'all might have grew up and seen, it was some food stamp, Trick first album, it was a food stamp. I rode from Key West to West Palm Beach. It wasn't no Lex promotion. It was Ted Lucas going to Home Depot to get some glue to put on my head. I will continue to do everything I did before and do it again right now. That's what I tell Ted Lucas. What you did then, even work harder. A lot of people, they get in the music business and they get comfortable and they get to relax. Oh, I got a deal now, so I don't have to work as hard no more. No, work even harder. You know, I look back, only thing I have done is wisdom. You know, I learned from some of my mistakes, some things I did, but I wouldn't take back nothing because I didn't A&R at no record company. It wasn't nobody to teach me no music business. I didn't know nothing about the music business. All I had was my hard work and dedication. And I put the hard work and dedication, and I found some people around me that believed in what we was doing. So I really just work harder. You know, go hard, Ted.
Great answer,
Thank
really.
you.
This is a two-part question, which is, what do you need to continue to move this culture of Miami music forward? And do you think that preserving Miami culture is headed in the right direction?
I definitely think it's going in the right direction. To keep this thing moving forward, I tell everybody, again, I could not rap, I could not sing, I couldn't do nothing. I was able to find talent. And if you're able to find talent, listen, it's your job, man. If your homeboy can rap, somebody got to be the accountant. Somebody got to be the attorney.
Right.
Somebody got to be the manager. Somebody got to do the street team work. So I would tell the new people out here, if you believe in somebody that much, get down with them and build that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all it was. Like, y'all understand, Trick was 30 thug music. That didn't exist in Miami at that time. Like, really? You really gonna try to talk about street music? It ain't gonna work in the club. Nobody ain't gonna be playing we 100 beats a minute going right then at that time. So you tell them you finna go and change and slow down music and tell people a story. Not gonna work. Everybody named Mama told us it wasn't gonna work. But it was real and it was authentic and people believed in it. So I would tell anybody, listen, man, team up with the right people that you believe in and surround yourself around them and build that team. Me, myself, I'm at a point in my life where I look for chiefs in the camp. I don't care if that rapper really that good. But if he is a knucklehead and he don't have a chief aside him, why would I do business with him? Because I know my investment is going to go down the drain. Because eventually what he's doing might catch up with him or he might don't listen. And if he's a butthole at that time, he's going to be a bigger butthole as he get all bigger. You
This
know,
man's so reformed, he won't even say asshole on camera.
I'm trying not
It's
to.
okay.
You know, somebody's daughter, mama might want to sign to me later, and they see this. So I got to make sure I try to keep it as professional as possible.
We got you.
Right.
You know? So basically, man, listen, to keep this culture going, you gotta. I got a new artist that I'm about to sign that I feel real good about. All right, it ain't even done, but I feel the ink dry. I'm gonna say it. Y'all check out this new artist by the name of Mike Smith. Remember I told y'all.
Exclusive on Tech Beats and
Right.
Bytes. We give it up on Mike Smith. Yes.
Remember I told y'all.
Mike, you owe us 3%,
and
whatever you
listen,
get, royalties. No.
Y'all hear it first right here. The ink ain't even dry, but y'all hear it
Yes.
first right here. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I'm putting the house on him.
All right.
All
I'm
right.
talking about my whole catalog going down on him.
He must bring that fire.
That's how much I believe in him. Mike Smith, down south. Remember I told y'all.
Not from the South.
Down south. He's
Nice.
down south. Mike Smith. I believe in him. I believe in his team. I believe in what he stands for, what he about. And we about to go hard.
Singer or rapper?
He's a rapper.
Okay.
And he for me, he represents what Miami culture is all about. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, it ain't just, he can hit it lyrically, or he gonna give you a story, or he can make you dance. And he represents what South Florida music is all about to me. So
Because it's both sides of it.
it's
You got to
both
be able to
sides
do
of
both.
it.
Yeah.
It's both sides of it. And I have put him through the test, been watching him for the last year, and I made a decision. I made that phone call. Like, Lay, you really want to make this happen?
I know what it means when you make a phone call.
Oh.
I remember when you called me to be a part of the nonprofit. That's one thing I can tell y'all about Ted. Ted is a very, very focused man. You don't speak a lot.
No,
Like, a
no.
lot of people wouldn't know that you were because you got to think your comparisons would come from because at your time, you're talking about Suge Knight with Death Row Records. You're talking about Puffy. You're talking about Jermaine Dupri.
Mm-hmm.
You were one of the most humble and behind the scenes executive producers and record label owners out there. So, like, what brings you to the point, I mean, besides just your natural personality, what made Ted the person that he was? How did you decide to work the industry the way that you did? Because you were really low key.
Let me tell you something again. Touche, y'all. Touche was on the way to prison.
Wow.
Touche would have let somebody trick him out his life. Touche was going to show you he was no punk. And he was going to prove to anybody that it wasn't going to happen. So it took a lot of work. I had to humble myself. I tell everybody, I'm a God-fearing man first. So by the grace of God, I escaped prison. Like I told you, my best friend who started this music business with me, Hollywood, got killed during the process. So for me, I established a relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. By me establishing that relationship, it made me find myself as a man. And I tell everybody, if you can't find yourself as a man and know who you are, don't let your homeboys trick you out of, dog just tried you, my nigga, you got to do something. No, boy, listen. It's a lot of punks, a lot of people that prove that they wasn't a punk in prison. Trust me now. So you got to catch yourself and grow up and be a man. And I decided to be a man. And the way I grew up, the dudes who had the money, he was in the back watching everything. In my block where I came from, he wasn't on the corner out there serving and doing all that. He was in the back. You didn't even know who he was. He ain't had no jury on. He had nothing. That's the way I grew up in the culture of Miami. Everybody I knew who had real money, you knew their name, but you didn't even know their face. So I grew up that way. And that's the way I was raised. So I already tell everybody, yeah, it's Trick Daddy Company. It's whoever company you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? All you know is Slip and Slide Records. But I don't have to be in the front. I don't rap. I don't sing. What I do, I get companies together. I try to make sure I don't call artists. I call them my business partners. My job to go in and sit down with whatever record company we're dealing with and try to get you the much money as I can, get myself as much money as I can, and we're going to negotiate and get the best deal. Some people understand that this is called the music business. A lot of people forget that word business when they're doing this. and they just get caught up in the music side of it.
Right, the
My
entertainment
job,
side.
yeah, the entertainment. So I don't
Yeah.
do that. I'm sitting back watching and seeing what's going on. I might be in the back watching you perform and telling you how your show can be better. I'm always looking for what can we do to increase and make the situation better than what it is. That's my job. I'm not gonna be your yes man. I'm not gonna be your dog. I'm not laughing to them phony jokes. I'm not doing none of that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. My job is to tell you when something ain't going right, that it ain't right, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be your yes man. I don't want to just be your homeboy.
And I'm on just before I know Toya, and then we got another question. An interesting fact for some people, in light of, in lieu of, should I say, Charlottesville, and the whole incident, when the Trayvon Martin situation happened, I actually made the call in to the Miami Foundation to file the paperwork to start the Trayvon Martin Foundation, and Ted was actually one of the first people that reached out to us. One of the first singles that was produced for the Trayvon Martin Foundation was actually produced by Plies, and that was put together by Ted. And when I tell you he's a man of his word, Ted saw what I was doing, and he was like, look, I want you to come in and consult with my foundation, and I want you to make stuff happen. So there's only so many people that are stand-up people. And I mean, you got people like Ted, you got people like Teach that are just true to their word. There's not a lot of paperwork being signed. You trust by their word. The paperwork is going to come when it happens, but they're man of their word. So I actually just want to give a shout out to you, and I just want to give a round of applause for you for being a strong black man and actually caring about our community. Because it took a lot for him to do that, but
Absolutely.
I remember we got Plies on the radio fast, and he did that album within like 36 hours, and he had that track put together.
And all the proceeds went to the foundation.
Went to the foundation. He didn't want a single dime. He was like, I don't want nothing.
Yeah.
Get all the money and take it there. And I know you put that together, so I appreciate that.
Let me just tell you a little bit about my foundation, man. Listen, it's the Ted Lucas Foundation. And I'm big on this, man. If that kid don't understand those ABCs and 1, 2, 3s from first to the third grade, I hate to tell you, y'all, it's going to be hard to catch that kid up.
Right.
So my foundation specializes in elementary schools, and we started in the Miami Gardens area. And I'm big on, man, let's catch that kid that's acting cool in the class, acting a fool, and see what's going on. Let's try to make sure he understands his ABCs and his 1, 2, 3s, because when he get to junior high school, 9 times out of 10, he going to drop out of school, and he got to resort to the streets. So let's catch it before he get too far behind and he can't read or write. So I don't want to deal with the junior high kids. I want to catch that kid that his pride will not let you know that he can't read. His pride will not let you know that he can't add or subtract. So I try to catch it early. My foundation specializes in the elementary school and helping those kids. That's something that I'm big on. After school programs, helping with the FCAT. Those things like that mean a lot to me to make sure I put the money in my pocket. I ain't doing it to prove nothing to nobody else or make you happy. I'm just trying to, my community where I was born and raised, I'm born and raised in the Bajas. Miami Gardens area, I want to make sure that those kids get the best education possible. Don't blame it on the teacher. Half of the kids, some of them in foster homes, some of them getting raised by their grandma, that kind of stuff. So to me, I want to go back to my community and reward those kids that's putting in the hard work to try to get their grades up.
Yeah, because that school to prison pipeline is real.
Oh, listen,
And that's
you
something that
said
we talked about before.
I'm going to say this right quick. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I was in the 3rd grade. They kicked me out of all Dade County public school. Me, this guy that's sitting up here right now in the 3rd grade, same day President Reagan got shot. I remember they was building Joe Robbie Stadium. I never forget it. They kicked me out of all Dade County public school. You know what they told me? It's a prison bed being made for you based on your grades right now today.
And you in the 3rd grade.
And I'm in the 3rd grade. Yes, y'all, me. That's what they told me. I never forget it. They gave me a paddle. They beat my butt in school and kicked me out. I ain't get the paddle or the suspension. I got both. And they kicked me out. I couldn't go home and break my grandma's heart and tell grandma I just got kicked out of all Dade County public schools. And grandma got me back into school in Broward County. But at that, just like you just said, in the 3rd grade, they told me that I was on my way to prison. And that was like, how can you even put that in my head? I ain't even let that negativity sink down inside of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a proven fact. So you're 100% right on that. And that's why I'm so big on going back to the elementary schools and helping those kids that get that negative put in their head and people speaking negative over their life. You can believe that. Next thing you know, all right, they said it, so.
Yeah, because they say by 4th grade, if you haven't caught black boys, it's pretty much determined where they're going.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real talk, y'all. And I'm telling you now, listen, man, you see that little kid in the neighborhood, pull him to the side, man. Best thing you do is buy that kid a book, man, and help that kid with some ABCs, 1, 2, 3, and help him get his life together, because them numbers and them letters going to add up eventually, y'all. You got to know how to review that contract. You know what I'm saying? And then a kid can't be who he really can be. because he can't read. A kid can't really be who he can be because he can't even count his money. So he results to negative.
Arrested development.
So most of the times, those students are also very advanced in technology and innovation. So how can they use technology and innovation to get someone like yourself attention?
Well, listen, I'm big on if you believe in something, you show me that the product can work, whatever it is. Like I run my company. Anybody that know me, I work off a lot of interns. I run my office off of interns. You know what I'm saying? And I don't run my office off of interns to just get free work. I run my office off interns. Either you came through the school of Ted Lucas and now you work at Def Jam, or you came through the school of Ted Lucas, now you work Atlantic. Now you came through the school of Ted Lucas and you're a future attorney now. These are people that work for me. People who came, that don't came and work for me. So I believe in giving that intern. If you get around a whole bunch of old people, and all y'all think y'all know everything, and you can't take no advice from that new young person that comes in. I love to be around new young energy that can give me new creative ideas. That's the thing that motivates me, to keep me going. So if you got a new invention, new technology, I'm gonna say 9 times out of 10, I might invest in you. I'm big on that.
I was about to say, Ted was one of the first people we told about Timeline Brewery about 3 years ago when we was just thinking about it. And he was like, I don't drink that much, but the marketing idea sound good, so y'all should make it happen.
Yeah.
So he listens. I mean, humble dude, but I know you listen and you give a lot back to
No, that's real. Listen, I'm big on that. If you can show me that it worked, I'm gonna lift up the hood, I'm gonna check the tires, I'm gonna open the trunk, I'm gonna do everything I gotta do to show you that I don't know if this can really work, but in the back of my mind, I'm hoping that you pass the test. I'm the real Shark Tank. I ain't gonna lie to nobody now. I'm keeping it real with you. I believe in it. You know, if I believe in it, I put my money where my mouth is.
He done gave us Shark Tanks Friday after a football game from Patriot at Rhonda Johnson House and Charles Johnson House. So
That's real.
we've had those experiences. So we've had our questions and we've actually ran over on time. And Ted got about 3 more meetings to go to. So we're gonna do this rapid fire real quick. We got to get it for him. Make them real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you want to start it off?
I do. This is for the natives and for the culture. When I say born and raised in the county of Dade, what does that mean to you?
Blood. That's real. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't say this more than one time. Slip and slide to me is the same thing the Miami Dolphins represent, the same thing the Miami Heat represent, the same thing the Florida Marlins represent. If you don't know about slip and slide, something wrong with you. That brand represent Miami. Dade,
Right.
born and raised in the county of Dade. That's real. And that's why I'm signing Mike Smith, and I'm gonna continue to find. Don't come to me playing. If you got real music and real artists, I'm with it. For real.
Best rapper alive.
Oh, Trick Daddy, hands down. Man, changed my life, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. What I'm gonna tell you, like, I was on the way to prison, and by the grace of God, he brought somebody in my life that had some talent, and we put 2 and 2 together. He might be a little crazy, but trust me, boy, there's a lot of rappers out here that know they got their style from Trick Daddy. They can say what they want to. You hear that slang in there. You hear that jock and trick now, because I'm the shit now. You hear that in them boys. Y'all know, y'all know who I'm talking about. A lot of y'all. I'm talking about from Georgia, Texas, wherever. A lot of y'all got that style from Trick. Trust me.
When did you realize Plies was an internet marketing genius?
Plies is very smart. He's not a dumb man. He play crazy sometimes, but he's very smart. And if you're going to stay relevant in this music business, I'm going to let that pass over a little bit. I'm going to tell y'all something again. Like, listen, if you're going to stay relevant in this music business, you got to adjust with the times. Plies been doing this for over 10 years. Shorty came out over 10 years ago. His career could have been over. But he was able to say, what's going on? Let me stay up on new technology, what's going on, and keep his career relevant. Y'all don't know, but ran off on the plug, almost platinum. Real hitter, almost platinum. This boy got platinum singles. Now, y'all take that social media for one thing, but trust me, them records adding up.
Y'all know about Saturdays. Sweet Saturdays.
Exactly. No, but he's definitely brilliant, man. He's very smart, and I tell you, he take advantage of what's out there. He know how to use the technology to his advantage, and real hitter. Record out here in Kodak. We ain't got no video or nothing, but the record is on its way platinum.
Right.
You don't know Nan. How did that change the game?
Wow. I'm gonna give you a little bit. When I heard that record, I told Trick, man, listen. Trick came to me and say, I want to get Trina on this record. She can do this part. I'm like, man, Trina don't even rap, man. What you talking about? You sound crazy right now, right? I heard the record, and I told everybody, we cannot release this record if Trina don't sign a contract. It took me 2 months to convince Trina to be a rapper.
Really?
2 months to convince Trina to be a rapper. When I heard that record, the first time I heard it, if you listen, the record is about 2 minutes long. An average record is 3 minutes. When I heard that record, I told everybody that's around me, my company, everybody. Trina at the time had a manager by the name of Red. And I told Red, I don't care what happened, we got to sign Trina. Because when we release this record, somebody going to try to sign her.
Right.
So I knew the record was a hit right then, and I knew what that can do. And I signed Trina, and a blessing came. It was a Super Bowl in Miami.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know who won the Super Bowl back then, but I know Slip and Slide won the Super Bowl. That Monday morning, every record company named Mama was in my office, and I had the bat. I ran it the way I want to. Sony, boy, that ain't enough money, get out of here. Atlantic, that ain't enough money, get out of here. Universal, that ain't enough money, get out of here. They was in my office on my terms, and they seen what we was able to do, and we had a great street team to get out and make sure that record was played. When this is how you do it. Every 5 records during that time, you heard Nan nigga every time. 5 records, boy, look at the DJ. Hey, play that record again. Look at the DJ, play that record again. And we broke the record, you know? And we had control of it. We had everybody from New York in town, and it was in my office, and it was on my terms.
That's what's up.
So we plug into the life of Ted Lucas right now. It's either a TV show or a movie that's representing your life right now. What are we watching?
We gonna start off with a TV show that's already in the makings. I ain't gonna talk about that yet.
Okay.
But it's already in the makings.
I thought we was about to get another exclusive.
No, I can't give you that one yet.
Okay.
Now that one, the ink gotta dry. I ain't gonna lie to y'all now. That's a new arena for me, and I'm stepping in something. But we got a TV show, and it ain't. I don't believe me myself. I ain't doing a reality show. You ain't getting Ted Lucas for $15. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It got to be done right. So got a TV show in the makings with a big network, and I'm excited about that, and just praying about it, and it's coming.
Let's give this man another round of applause. This man has now ventured over to the other side of media.
Yeah.
All right. Toya, you got one more final question for him to close him out?
I do. What's been your biggest challenge? You've been in music so long, but give us one of your biggest challenges to date.
Staying relevant. That's the biggest. Don't be a dinosaur. That's the most important. You know, after being this 20 years, y'all are doing this. It's easy to be a dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? But y'all see me here tonight. I walked in this crowd by myself. I ain't got no security, no bodyguard. I don't steal from nobody. I ain't taking nothing from nobody. I'm paying you your royalties. I'm doing all that. So anybody tell you anything, one thing I'm big on, I'm going to make sure you get your royalties. I'm going to pay you because I ain't walking around with no security guard. I'm still touche. I just try to stay humble and don't bother nobody. And I just try to do business. But staying relevant, man. Yeah. You got to stay relevant. Surround yourself around good people. I like to find people smarter than me. I ain't going to lie to you. I definitely, when I catch you smarter than me, boy, I got to talk to you. I want to be around you. I want to know what you know.
In the circle.
Yeah, I want you around me at all times. So staying relevant and keeping smart people around me has been the blessing to me.
No, that's cool.
Well, shout out to Teach for getting Lucas to come out here tonight. But let's give a round of applause for Ted Touche Lucas. I'll have to bring that back and put it on the shirt. Hey, guys, we appreciate you for coming out. Make sure you grab yourself a couple of more drinks before you go. I think we might do a little bit of karaoke to close out the night. We got a little bit more singing to happen. But
Dante gonna kick it off?
This has been Tech Beats and Bytes with Digital Grass, world famous House of Matt. Thank you very much for coming out. Support your sounds provided by DJ Selfborn, and also give a shout out to the Knight Foundation for believing in our vision. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.